Hello everyone, I am Dhusharima. I'm a barrister of Lincoln's Inn. I hope you all are doing well and keeping safe. Today I will discuss about climate change. This topic is often overlooked and considered unimportant. However, climate change is a very important topic to talk about because all our activities contribute to climate change. So what causes climate change? To say it simply, human actions does. Every small day-to-day activity to big industrial activities like burning fossil fuel, animal agriculture and deforestation, and waste and recycle pollution. These all emit carbon dioxide, which is very toxic to atmosphere. Burning fossil fuels like oil, coal, natural gas are one of the biggest sources of carbon emission. Globally, forests are bulldozed in order to make more room for farming animals for human consumption. This, as well as deforestation, emits carbon dioxide and gets rid of plants, trees, and forests, which are responsible for absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So the more we deforest, the less carbon dioxide is being absorbed from the atmosphere. Over the course of thousands of years, our planet has gone through a natural cycle of carbon dioxide being absorbed and released into the atmosphere. Due to industrial revolution, the manufacturer and production plants are burning more fossil fuel, and this is the reason the level of carbon dioxide has increased drastically in the atmosphere. And the earth has not seen this much carbon dioxide in its atmosphere for millions of years. Due to all these carbon emissions, the earth's temperature has risen 1.5 degree Fahrenheit over the past few centuries and is projected to rise even more in the future. Rising temperature also means the earth's oceans are becoming warmer. Since the oceans are becoming warmer, the earth is losing billions of tons of ice every year to the ocean, and the oceans are being filled with too much water, which means that the coastal region are being flooded and destroyed. Climate change also causes more frequent and intense natural disasters like tornadoes, hurricane, heat waves, drought, flooding, as we see frequently in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is one of the most vulnerable countries in the world to be heavily affected by climate change. Rising sea levels mean part of the country sinks. The villages in Bangladesh are suffering due to this, and some of the villagers are losing their lands and homes due to riverbank erosion. And this also means that they are having to relocate from one place to the other momentarily. Rising sea level, which results in the salinization of water, makes it difficult for people to live there as the water becomes salinized and not drinkable. Salinization of water also means that the crops are destroyed and eventually the farmers suffer due to this. So the sufferers of environmental disasters are usually the underprivileged and the farmers of this country, who are helpless and who cannot take any measure to prevent this, and who are unable to take any legal step or to take any action whatsoever. Definitely there are certain laws and regulations dedicated towards the environment in Bangladesh. For example, Article 18A of the Constitution of Bangladesh is dedicated for the improvement and protection of the environment and biodiversity of Bangladesh. Another legislation called the Bangladesh Environment Conservation Act 1995 is also dedicated to conserve and protect the environment of Bangladesh. Although there are provisions in the Act to mitigate certain pollutants, but it hardly demands any preventative measures. The Act also does not incorporate any provisions keeping in mind the ever-changing climate and its impact on the environment. Now the question is, can we stop climate change, and if so, how? First of all, especially for the industries and factories, instead of burning fossil fuel, they should use convertible energy such as wind and solar power, which emits zero carbon emissions. Secondly, cutting back on deforestation would not only ensure less carbon emission but would also ensure that more toxic gas such as carbon dioxide is being absorbed by the plants and trees. Thirdly, using reusable and renewable resources will reduce the amount of energy that's required to make new products. This will also ensure the reduction of the massive amount of landfill dumping that we do every time. We can take steps in our everyday lives and reverse the effect of climate change by producing less carbon emission. For example, we can use more fuel efficient car, which will help produce less carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, or we can switch off the engine of our car when we are waiting in the traffic, or maybe if we are traveling smaller distances, we can take a walk, we can take a rickshaw, or maybe use a cycle for that matter. We should use energy efficient appliances and electronics. We should try to switch off the lights and fan and all other electronics whenever we are not using them. We should curb our consumption as much as we can and not use or misuse things that we do not need. And lastly, the motto should be reducing, reusing and recycling whenever we can, which would help save our environment from the impacts of climate change. And we should also share this information with as many people as we can so that people are aware and are taking steps in order to help climate change effect. Thank you.